Hello and welcome to Oulton Park for round 9 of the 2014 F3 Cup season. The guys have just returned from a lovely trip to Spa in the previous round, both races won by Toby Sowery, and now they're greeted with very difficult conditions here at Oulton Park. But again, it's Sowery who's on pole position. Alongside him on the front row of the grid will be Henry Chart. Lee Morgan will start third ahead of Tristan Cliff down in fourth place. The first of our trophy class cars, Oliver Ray, will start in fifth position. Safety car start here at Oulton Park because of the treacherous weather conditions. And soon the safety car will come in and hopefully the racing will get underway. Safety car comes in and now we can go racing proper with Toby Sowery leading the way. On board we go with Tristan Cliff. That's Lee Morgan up in front of us. Tristan Cliff will be starting in fourth place, but he actually looks pretty close to Lee Morgan in front of him as they come down into Old Hall for the first time. There's the look up the inside, and Tristan Cliff immediately on the attack, taking third place away. There's Mark Harrison in the number 4 car, but up in front it's Toby Sowery leaving Henry Chart in second place, and third in the early stages for Tristan Cliff. Fourth for Lee Morgan, fifth for Oliver Ray, as the rest of the cars make their way through. Down through Cascades for the first time. Oliver Sterling has made a couple of places by the looks of it on the opening sequence of corners. But the top three now starting to spread out. Oliver Ray is looking reasonably feisty though. He's right up behind Lee Morgan, who started third, dropped to fourth, and may well drop further back if Oliver Ray has anything to do about it. Into the chicane at Britain's and then climbing the hill, over Hilltop, and down towards the chicane at Knickerbrook for the first time. And it's a comfortable advantage at the moment for Toby Sowery. Mark Harrison there running in just behind. Louis Hamilton-Smith looks like he's got past Stuart Wiltshire and has moved up into 7th place then. There is the number 5 car of Louis Hamilton-Smith in his F307 with the VW engine. He's got past Stuart Wiltshire now. Up at the front, it's still Sowery leading. Henry Chart in the red car in second place. Tristan Cliff in third in the black car with the day glow flashes all over it. It is Sowery leading the race. He won both of the races at Spa. Rockingham, he was beaten by the returning Alice Powell, who raced in F3 Cup last season. She returned for the Rockingham rounds, but has since left the series again. There's Henry Chart running in second position. Currently down in 8th place in the championship. Didn't compete at Rockingham or Spa, but great to have him back out here at Oulton. The student at the University of Birmingham. Running in second place there in the red Dallara F305. Doesn't look like he can quite close in on our race leader Sowery at the moment though. But look at the rain still teeming down. Conditions very, very treacherous for our F3 Cup drivers. Tristan Cliff looks like he's closing in a little bit on Henry Chart. And still this battle over 4th place is refusing to relent. Oliver Ray in the trophy class, pushing very hard. 2 trophy class entrants. It's he and Johnny Weston Taylor. Johnny Weston Taylor running further back down the field at the moment. It's this battle for 4th place. It's the closest one on the circuit. A bit twitchy on the rear end there from Ollie Ray as he tries to get the power down. We go on board with Tristan Cliff down into the chicane, or rather not. He's going straight on down at Cascades. Unable to get the car stopped in time. He'll filter back in, still in 3rd place, but perhaps a little closer to Henry Chart after that little escapade. Ollie Ray still chasing down 4th place man Lee Morgan, and you can see how difficult it is to see in the spray. The rain's still coming down. It's getting wetter and wetter here at Oulton Park, and Toby Sowery with the race lead certainly has the advantage when it comes towards visibility. Down towards Lodge. Still Lee Morgan holding on to 4th position as Ollie Ray follows his wheel tracks all the way around the circuit. But Toby Sowery is the man leading still. Won both races at Snetterton, both races at Silverstone. It was only at Rockingham when Alice Powell returned that he hasn't won so far this year. But in treacherous conditions like this, anything could happen. Maybe this could be the race that he doesn't finish. But it's all about the battle for 4th place still. Ollie Ray pushing really hard. And you can see now Sowery starting to get into the rhythm of it and pulling away from Henry Chart. Here's the 4th place squabble again. Down into Shell Oil's corner. Past the lake, which maybe looks a little bit drier than the circuit on a day like today. Oliver Ray getting 2 wheels on the grass as he made his way towards the Britain chicane. That'll cost him a little bit of time. There's Oliver Sterling. Currently running in 10th place. And again a lock-up from Tristan Cliff, and unable to quite get the car stopped in time, and he has to skip through the chicane at Knickerbrook once again. Too many more times, and the stewards might have something to say about that. But he certainly doesn't seem to be gaining too much of an advantage from it. Oliver Sterling in his first race meeting in the F3 Cup. His first appearance of the season so far. Oliver Ray still leading the trophy class, both in terms of the championship and in terms of the race today. And he's 4th overall in the championship as well, so a strong season so far for Ray. There's Stuart Wiltshire making his way through in his F307 Mugen Honda. Looks as though Wiltshire is closing in potentially a little bit on the back of these guys in the battle over 4th position. No, it's Lewis Hamilton Smith who's closing in on them then. So Hamilton Smith, who started down in 8th position, all of a sudden has clawed his way up towards the battle for 4th place. Through Britons and then over Hilltop. Hamilton Smith. And a spin for Henry Chart from 2nd place. Goes right back in front of Tristan Cliff, who has to take evasive action. And Henry Chart does recover. He'll still be in the top 3, but he loses his 2nd place. So a real shame for Henry Chart. Just losing it on the exit of the chicane at Knickerbrook. Tristan Cliff does well to avoid, and he's now up into 2nd spot. Tristan Cliff, who's the 2nd place man in the championship, has finished 2nd to Toby Sowery at many events so far this season, and it looks like it may well be that story again. There's Henry Chart then in 3rd place. 4th, still Lee Morgan. Nothing Ollie Ray can do about him still. But what can Lewis Hamilton Smith do now that he has joined the fray in the white and red car that is running at the back of this pack now, the number 5 machine. Hamilton Smith didn't make the trip to Spa, so as a result he's only down in 5th place in the standings. The strong result here could see him climb up a couple of places. As Stuart Wiltshire makes his way down into Lodge. 6th place in the championship for Stuart Wiltshire as he crests Deer Leap. And now Ollie Ray has dropped back off Lee Morgan and is coming under more pressure from Lewis Hamilton Smith. The two running nose to tail as they come towards the chicane at Britons. Through the left, right, and then left again, a little bit sideways for Ollie Ray as he puts the power down. There's Johnny Weston Taylor running 2nd in the trophy class in his F301 Renault. Former Formula 4 racer in the 750 Motor Club, but here's side-by-side action as Hamilton Smith goes through. Does he? Yes, just about. Was there contact there between he and Ollie Ray? Looked as though the front right of Ollie Ray might just have taken a bit of a knock as they come out through Knickerbrook. But meanwhile, our race leader, Toby Sowery, is on his final lap, coming down towards Lodge Corner for the final time. Comfortably led, has had the benefit of a clear track in front of him and no spray. And Toby Sowery is going to win again in the F3 Cup and extend his lead at the top of the championship. An impressive drive in these difficult conditions for Toby Sowery as he takes victory at Oulton. Second place looks like it'll be Tristan Cliff, and I think it is going to be a problem for Ollie Ray. He's slowing down, possibly with a bit of damage after the contact. Through the right-hander he comes. He should still finish ahead of Johnny Weston-Taylor in order to win the trophy class. But after challenging for 4th position for the majority of the race, it'll be a real sickener for Ollie Ray to finish well down the field. Looks like it'll be a 7th place finish for him. Depends if Stuart Wiltshire can get past. Here comes Wiltshire to the line. And it's just Ollie Ray who picks up 7th position. But there's our race winner, Toby Sowery, taking victory by some 9.8 seconds in the end. Here's a look at the results. Tristan Cliff then in 2nd. 3rd place for Henry Chart. He'll be frustrated because it could have been a 2nd had he not had that spin. The trophy class winner, Ollie Ray. There's Johnny Weston-Taylor finishing 2nd in the trophy class on the podium now, but it's the top step once again for Toby Sowery. He extends his lead at the top of the championship, and we can hear from him now.
It's hard to know where people are when the spray is that bad, but I mean, once you get a bit of a gap, you can then see them in this bit of comfort. But you know, it's hard out there, especially in these conditions. So yeah, it was a fantastic weekend, especially as it's our first race here.
Well, I was trying to keep up with Toby and Henry, and I just braked too late on 2 consecutive laps, and it was either spin and lose a lot of positions or go down the escape road, so I chose the latter option, but I tried to give the time back to Henry.
Fortunately, I lost a little bit of concentration going into Knickerbrook. Don't quote me on that, I think that's the corner. But basically I was just watching my mirrors, and then the classic, just lost concentration and spun. And then after that I was sort of racing by myself, so I hadn't really anything to go for, but it's a shame, yeah.
It was quite a wet time out there. It was not much fun really. The car only just started before we went out. I don't know what the problem is. Hopefully we can sort that. So we were on the back of the green lap when we went out, and making an overtake straight away from the back of the grid. But then I was struggling a little bit, and I was staying with the next guy in the trophy, but fortunately he managed to spin out, so he left me then to take the thing. So the main reason I'm here is cups for my little daughter Lola Maria, because she gives me the orders. So thankfully we've done what we need to do, and we'll try and get another one this afternoon.
So after victory in round 9, it was another win in round 10 for Toby Sowery, finishing ahead of Tristan Cliff and Louis Hamilton-Smith completing the podium. Ollie Ray got his car fixed and out in time to win the trophy race once again. As far as the championship standings are concerned, unsurprisingly, Sowery extends his advantage, 307 points now at the top of the championship. Tristan Cliff second, Lee Morgan after a strong weekend is up into 3rd. The F3 Cup are next out at Brands Hatch, but after the break we've got an all-comers race from Snetterton.